Oh, sorry. Yeah. So intentions, distractions. My intentions are to sync with you, know the latest from this working group, and to record the call. I hope my connection is good, so I don't mess up my recording. So yeah, and I pass it to Jake.
I'm good. Intentions, yeah, catch up on Hatcher Outreach, who's got onboarded, where to go from there. And then I don't really have too many distractions right now. I'll pass it to Metaverde.
I'm driving. I should be where I'm at in a couple minutes, and then I can pick up.
What about you, Septimus?
Yeah, I'm good. And yeah, my intention is to sing with you guys, and I don't have any distraction. I'll pass it to Bye.
Hi, I'm just dropping in and seeing what's happening and maybe ask a few questions with respect to the hatch after the meeting is concluding to an end. And my distractions, I don't have any distractions.
Turn your mic up.
What about you, Tam?
Hi. So give some updates, hear some updates, and spend an hour focused on how to get more hatchers and get more projects and get the right hatchers and the right projects. And I have a bowl of noodles is my distraction, so I will stay on off camera. What about Juan Carlos? I'll pass to you.
Hello, everyone. Well, my intention is to sync with you guys. I'm trying to work like being a stand, like to change the habit of being seated all the time. And yeah, I don't have any distraction.
Nice. What about you, Nate?
Intention is just to sync up and no distractions at the moment. So I will pass. Yeah.
What about you, Rodbot? I don't know if Rodbot 2 it's a bot or it's actually someone.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, now I can hear you.
All right. Sorry about that. My name is Rodolfo, my real name. Sorry about that. So I'm new to the. I was just accepted to the common stack. I'm working with Dan through some hiccups there, and I wanted to join and see kind of like what this group, this Hatcher Outreach group was about. So I don't know if I'm in the wrong place, but this is more for like planning outreach versus doing outreach. But at any rate, super excited to be working with you guys.
Don't worry. You are in the TC. You are never in the wrong place. You can always,
nice.
Join to any call and stay. So you're more than welcome to stay. The Hatch Outreach call, it's basically a call where we define the strategy and the approach for bringing hatchers and proposals, which is a key part of the launch of our DAO. So it's a little bit of a bunch of strategy and a bunch of practical aspects. So you're more than welcome to stay during the call and learn a little bit about this process and contribute.
Okay, I'll listen in.
Thank you.
Great, thank you guys.
So basically, I don't know, Tam, if you added the points to the agenda for today. There you go. Never mind. I'm seeing that you're doing it now. So for today's agenda, I will share my screen in a moment. So I would like to start with the feedback from this week Hatch Outreach and what we have accomplished this week. So I would like the feedback from everyone who has done the onboarding this week. I want to start with Juanca and who did his first lead on a call. I think it was the first time. So I want to hear about you. What's your feedback, and how do you feel about it?
Well, I am really happy about having done my first onboarding with David, and I am also curious about when would be the right moment to tell about the project to other people in the community that I am part of in the country of Ethereum Colombia.
That's a good question. Did you feel I will write that down. Did you feel it was anything that you felt, any question that popped out when you were reading the deck or the document that we had, like anything you feel could be improved?
Maybe it was me. I was I need some practice to lose the speech, but I think that the document works great.
Nice. What about you, Jake? Did you onboard anyone this week? Are you there, Jake? If not, Livy.
Oh, I'm sorry. I apologize.
No.
Okay. What do you want from me? Catch up? What did I do? How did onboarding go?
Yes.
Oh, it went good. Well, that was fun yesterday with you. That was fun. I always like being able to help. That's great. We made some progress. I actually got contact from some other people. I'm gonna finally get Nate onboarded today, so that's gonna be fun. I finally heard back from Fiore too, which was really cool. Oh, by the way, what is UTC -3? So that's UTC and then -3 hours. So that's like, what is that? Before I got to Google, I don't want to Google. Does anybody know that off the top of their head? Isn't that like 21? So what's that? Is that like 9 p.m.? I don't think that's right. I'll figure it out. Thanks, guys.
Google will be.
And then and I still haven't heard back from Pavle. I'm still trying there. Who else was on my list? Oh, we got somebody that is probably not going to be onboarded that's on the list, but I'm still waiting to find out about some of that. And me and Metaverde are trying to set something up with Monstrosity, but that's close. He's available, but he's busy. We think that might be later in the week, maybe. But other than that, things are going well.
Nice.
I don't have any updates on proposals. I'm still in contact with Bancor, not about proposals, but also for onboarding. And it's just everybody's just really busy. That's about it.
Nice. What about you, Livy? Any feedback from your onboarding sessions?
The only one I had was a second for Griff with Jerome on Friday. Yeah, that went very well. I think there was just something we talked about later of making it a positive look since the beginning of of the problems the TC is willing to solve. Yeah, I was a bit off, so I just did that one.
It's okay. Then there is this option that I would like to open to everyone, and probably SoftClub can also help with this, or comms. Which we had a session with Tam earlier today, and we talked about probably it's hard to match the times and to pick people to pick a time, whether they are CET and so on. So we talk about creating a Calendly. So basically, people can sort of pick the time that better suits for them. But we are thinking about how can we have a Calendly that at least the stewards or at least the people who can onboard, people can have access to times. So any feedback on this?
I think it's a great idea for something like onboarding, but onboarding for new contributors. I don't know that we necessarily need it for Hatch Outreach or for project outreach. So I don't know, but it's also, it would be nice, it'd be easier for people to pick times that are available in our calendars. It would certainly facilitate things. I'm not sure that's a super huge priority though. It's my thinking or my feedback.
Yeah. No, it is not. I was just bringing it up because I remember since she mentioned this. Alrighty. So the next point is that I will encourage everyone, Livy, Juanca, Jake, to use the deck if you find it usable. The deck that Ham created, and customize it to how your voice is and how your tone is. Because the deck was created sort of to adapt and to work for Ham, and not necessarily reflects probably everyone's tones. Or for example, if we are doing an onboarding in Spanish, you could easily change it to Spanish if you feel like. So I will encourage everyone to use it if you need it, and to adapt it to your voice if you need it. I don't know if everyone here has access to it and everyone knows what I'm talking about.
You skipped me for feedback from Hatching.
Oh, that's true. What about you? Go ahead.
Well, let's just finish the point that you raised.
Yes.
Yeah, and Eduardo gave me some feedback that the Hatch deck that I use is not always easy for everyone to follow. And I thought, okay, definitely something that you can fork and customize for yourself, especially when it comes to the speaker notes. I'm updating it every day with tweaks that work for me, but I think that everyone might have their own feeling of like what trigger words will trigger their memory to what they want to speak about. So I'd certainly encourage like forking it, putting in your own speaker notes, making it the most valuable tool for you. And everyone does have access to it. It should be in I think so, but I can drop it again in the Hatch Outreach channel so that everyone has access to it again. Okay.
And what about your feedback?
Yeah, there was a few things that I wanted to raise as a group today, and I put them on our agenda. The first, as we're reaching out to people that are outside the core of the concentric circle of TEC, so people that are not active in the TEC, people that are not stewards in the TEC, or don't even have a really clear understanding, or like participated in the TEC 9 months ago, and then it's always sort of been something that they're very interested in, but they're just occupied with their own projects and the things that they're trying to launch. So I'm coming across a lot of like just extremely busy, passionate people building their own economies or their own Web3 projects. And I keep coming across this sort of like, what is our value proposition to these people who we know would make very good hatchers, and they have the right alignments. They're super enthusiastic. They have the right value alignments. They have the right skill alignments. It's just that they consider a barrier to participation being the time it would take to, as one person put it, I know how long it takes to read the forums. Like I know how long it takes to like, voting isn't just coming and like clicking on some proposal. It's like understanding, reading, like catching up on what's been going on. So I wanted to sort of pose that as an exercise for all of us, because we're all going to come across people that are that have experience, that know it takes some time to participate in governance, but also are really enthusiastic about the TEC and want to see us be successful. Yeah, Griff.
Yeah. So, and well, how did you address that? And then maybe because we talked about this yesterday. Yeah.
Well, so my response was, you can you can participate as little or as much as you want. And I felt like it wasn't a good enough answer, to be honest. It was like, hey, you can just, be involved and be part of this brain trust, or you can really be like super involved and, and commit more time if you have more time. And then I got feedback from Jeff, who pointed out that, conviction voting isn't like a fixed voting period. So you can actually we have longer voting periods. So you have more time to sort of get familiar with the projects if you want to. I didn't feel like my response was good enough. And that's why I wanted to bring it to the group.
Yeah, I think the framing of it being, especially for busy token engineers, the framing of it being like an engineering society that professional engineers join, it is really valuable, especially for this, because guess what? Every professional engineer is actually working for some other company. This is not like, this is a support structure for them. And when they feel like they have needs, they can lean on it. But if they don't have any needs, it's just good that they're a member, and they won't need to bring it up. Conviction voting, being like, come vote on things whenever you want, is really nice for sure. And but the biggest piece, I think, for us at this moment, when we're talking to token engineers, when we're talking to like especially the like important people that like will need to be here because their influence is like, they have the experience of what token engineers need because they're doing it. We can say, listen, we need you. We're like, if you don't have time, that's cool. We'll walk you through it, but you need to be in on this at the beginning so you can have influence to take token engineering down the right path. And we understand it's bull market. It's a very busy time. It will not always be this busy. And if you miss out on this opportunity and you want to have influence on how token engineering advances after this, it's going to be a lot more expensive. And we want you in early, so.
I have had similar, we had this with Orin yesterday. This question about, the first thing he asked about, even having the call, was how much time will it take to me to dedicate for this? And how much time are you expecting me to spend on this? That was his first question. And I have received that question a few times, even before jumping into a call, of people like, I just want to be clear. And they are transparent. They say that out loud, and it's perfect. But I think that, as Tam mentioned, I think we could have this position of, hey, this is a privileged opportunity, and we want you here because you are relevant for this opportunity. And I think I don't think there is much more we can say, really.
Yeah, that was very good feedback. I don't know if anyone else wants to address it before we move on to the next sort of observation that I had. 5, 4.
Yeah, I can say something quick. I think also with Michelle, for example, one observation I had was that I felt like he didn't want to be so involved right now because he didn't see the immediate impact for his project, for example, that it's what he's putting 100% of the attention, especially because his project wasn't open source. And I thought, like, how can we communicate that in the long term, the TEC is going to be benefiting token engineers that can't afford being open source right now for it to become an open source software in the future, and how having this being inserted in the community from now in the very long term will be beneficial, not only financially, but for the improvement of their own tools. So I was thinking, how is there any place we can start to offer collaboration opportunities for projects that are token engineering projects, but that are not open source? So I told him, like, maybe research opportunities to improve the tool, and then the results of the research can be shared and financed by the TEC, or like, what are the routes?
That's really good feedback too. Yeah, I don't know. Okay. So other feedback that I had was that I was speaking with someone and they were, when we got to the soft commit part, they were talking about how they can raise funds, but wanted to be able to share an expected return with the people that they were raising funds from. And I just wanted, like, I cautioned against that approach. And I really, really strongly cautioned against it. And, you know, it's sort of like, we can't predict what any returns will be, and it can all go to zero. So be extremely careful when accepting money from friends or family to participate or to co-vest. And I just wanted to sort of share that too. It is the first time I've come across it, actually. So to now, I haven't addressed that. Those are my pieces of feedback from this last week. This last week was super busy. I had 10 sessions, and next week, I think the next sprint's going to be even more. I mean, this sprint was super busy. Next sprint, I think, is going to be just as busy or even more. And I guess one last thing is I'm thinking about having like group sessions, because like especially for teams, like, so like maybe a Saturday session for an entire team, you know, a team that works with each other. So 3 or 4 or 5 people even. And I think that can be a more effective way for me reaching out to a number of people, or us reaching out to a number of people instead of one-on-one, because we're close to the hatch.
Yeah, and
we're getting there. We're so close.
Actually, what Tam mentioned, I had a similar question from someone who basically asked me if they would receive money or they would receive more impact hour. Like, no, sorry, if they would receive more funds or return of investment if they bring someone else to the hatch. Like, if I bring my brother, and I was like, so I mean, I feel that sometimes it's as I was mentioning Tam in the call before, as we are getting in touch with people that doesn't have a clear, probably yet, an idea of what the TEC philosophy and concept and so on is, we will need to make clear from the beginning of the call that as Tamara mentioned the other day, what was the word, Tam? Non-number go up people. Sorry, that's a hard word for me. To mention this at the beginning of the call, so people have the mindset aligned with us the rest of the call, and it's like sort of a clear. But this is only for people who are not very familiar with the TEC, so they don't have that aligned. Then the feedback I had from the other call, there is one very specific that the person mentioned that they will like the code quality to be raised. That is a kind of I guess a broad spectrum of a comment, but he mentioned basically this, that he would like to have the code that I guess is being designed to be raised to a certain better standard. Since I'm not very full into this, I cannot, like, those were his words from a feedback from a call. And the other one, that he would like to have visibility for the daily life, the daily today tasks in GitHub. Like the same way we have this procedure for distribution for comms, to have something similar for the little work that goes invisible. Let's say, I guess his example was, for example, if you create a small thing for the web, or if you record the calls like Ivy does it, like he will like to see this pool of things, like GitHub issues for these things, and then pick these little things if it is unassigned in a way.
Oh, somebody who wants to contribute.
Yes, exactly. To have a stream of not big issues, because we have like big sometimes issues, but he would like to have a stream of a space where he can pick little tasks or tasks that are minor, but they are needed, but we don't have bandwidth to do it. So he's like, oh, I would like to have a space or a GitHub section for these kind of tasks. That's what he's always.
It's great feedback to bring to the onboarding group, but maybe not within the purview of like Hatcher and Project Outreach.
Great. This is great feedback. So that will be all from Hatch Outreach. So can we check? Can you share your screen time for a second for the TC grid? If not, I can share it. I have it open. Sorry, I think I didn't have it open. We can go through the assignees. and see if everyone it's aligned with this. We can start with Olivia. Just give me a moment. Okay, so Livy, you can you see the screen, by the way, before I can continue?
Yeah, I can see it. Yeah, before anything, I just wanted to say that I haven't done this sheet for a while, so it's probably outdated.
Good.
But I should put in my routine to take a look at it. So I onboarded Kate already, and Cassidy and Michelle. That's all.
Hey Eduardo, I would be
Yes.
happy to have a 15-minute sync with everyone, sort of out async from this call, unless this is a good use of our time, and then we can sort of like update the spreadsheet that way, because I think there's a lot of stuff around projects to discuss, and it's probably just 15 minutes, 5-10 minutes with me asking everyone individually.
Perfect. So I leave this update to your work session. Perfect. Thank you so much. So going back to the agenda. Yeah, I think this is is there any other feedback or something that anyone wants to mention regarding Hatchers before we continue? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay. I will steal that from you then. So proposals. I will have loved just to be present. How is the proposal aspect going? Like, has anyone? I think Jake picked some names, but I just heard you mention you didn't have any updates on that. Has anyone here present talked to any proposals? How is that going?
I just talked to Natalia today, that is working with Angela now. So we're scheduling a time for next week to make the T Academy proposal.
Nice. I mean that's a good one, because we have long due expecting that one to be submitted. That's lovely. Alrighty. So basically we have set up some call. I have a call today that Livy will be joining, I think, hopefully. And then I have 2 more calls this week so far for proposals. Basically, what I was talking with Ham early today was to create. We already have a document that it serves as a guide and with a message that can be sent to people, ideally adapted to someone you send it. Right now, I'm using Twitter to reach out to people with a 50% answer back. And then there was this document, TEC database. If you, I don't know if you know more about this document, Tom, because I haven't talked to Dan about it. But if you want to explain a little bit about it.
I just saw it for the first time actually late yesterday. So there's a few things maybe to say. Let me just share the screen.
Oh.
So there was a document that Manu was working on. I don't know if you remember, and he and I decided we would merge it into this one doc, and he'll continue to work on it here. But also, it's something to think about in terms of like projects to outreach to. So there's some here. I'm not sure yet how to merge all of these together into one, but it's some work that's been done, and maybe we can capitalize on it. And then Dan shared this yesterday, and it is around DAOs ecosystem and TEC ecosystem. This DAO ecosystem one is pretty comprehensive. And I thought it could be very interesting for project outreach as well to sort of go through and see if there are any and here that would be a great candidate to propose funding to, or propose them to propose funding from us. So I just want to make sure that it's on our radar.
We haven't seen this, like, just wonder, I guess not, but we haven't cross-check these documents, right? We haven't checked who is there and who is not on the other one.
Yeah, it's
Right.
brand new.
Sure.
But it's really comprehensive. I mean, it must have taken a lot of work to put this together.
Yeah. It's quite big. Okay. Can I ask that whenever you sync with someone on the SWAT team, if you can sort of pick projects to reach out if there is a contact name on it by the time you had that sync call. So at least the SWAT team can pick 1 or 2 names per week, so we can start like reaching out in that way. And then I will do the majority of the other ones that are harder to reach. But if we have contacts of people already, like on this list, there are some emails and the TEC data space, it will be nice if we can sort of pick 1 per week minimum. Then secondly, I will hello Metaverde. I was just going to ask you, what do you need for reaching out One Hive projects that we talked on the past calls?
So for projects, for project proposals, what I really need is a reason that somebody's going to put in a proposal now when there's no funding for several months. That's yeah.
Funding is by far the least important and interesting thing that we're offering. So the big thing, it's bull market. They're token engineers. They're literally printing money, like
right.
Not figuratively. Like they are money printer goper. They don't need our. What they need is our brain, is the attention of the brain trust of all token engineers. If they have an interest in their project, if they want to make an impact on an advanced token engineering and bring it in a certain direction, like for instance, what's his name, Jerome, right? I had a call with Jerome. He's actually teaching a token engineering course in Paris. No one knows about it. What's important for him to make a proposal now is the awareness, and we in a dream world, we would tweet it for him. We would help them put it together. We would and we'd advertise it for them, and we'd do the marketing for them.
Actually, basically. So that's really gonna narrow the band of projects that we're looking at, because Monstrosity did the proposal, right? And he just tagged me today asking about and by the way, Jake, so we can make an appointment to onboard him. But he just asked me today, what was going on with the proposal that he made, and that was to get funding to pay a creative writer to promote token engineering, right? That's not something that's like 3 months down the road. That's something that they want to start right now. See what I mean? But I'm not arguing. But now I have a different perspective on the kinds of projects that we'll be looking for. Okay.
That's a really cool project. I mean,
is there any way we can give him money now to get started? Or make a commitment now.
How much money is he looking for?
I don't know how much he hasn't really said. How much would it take to hire a creative writer? It couldn't be more than like a couple $1,000s to get somebody started.
I mean,
I don't know what writers make.
Yeah, the common stack could definitely support these kinds of efforts, but it's a different conversation, unfortunately.
Okay.
Yeah. But it sounds cool.
Okay. So can we redirect that to the common stack then? And then in the future, now I know that we're not funding for a while, and that'll change how I approach projects.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think, Metaverde, that with Jake or you, or with the help or my help, for me it's fine, to add this list of projects from One Hive to the TEC curate list, so we can like see it or have point of contacts, or I don't know, just to have everything in a single space.
We don't have Chewy on the call.
He's
on the call. Yeah. So we're looking to help promote One Hive projects and get involved that way. Yeah. We can do that. I need to think about it. I just got back. I've been on the road a couple of weeks.
It's okay. Perfect.
I'll get my head back in it.
Yeah, if you need a hack session or a moment to do it, just let me know.
Yep.
My calendar is open and we can do it anytime you find perfect.
Excellent. Excellent.
Okay. So that's on the one half side. Griff, do you think we could have sorry, I don't know anyone else. A small 30-minute session for seeing through the document that Dan provide, the TC data space, huge Excel, and pick just main names that you think are relevant, and then just mark them with a red color or something, so we can do the follow up after that, like what you did initially with the TC. Great.
I mean, I assume that we're going to merge the two sheets into one sheet, right?
Yeah, but I would like to prioritize, since there are so many entries, I would like to prioritize probably the ones that are more relevant at the beginning, and then
sure. Where is this sheet?
It's on the agenda, but I can send it to you.
No, I can go to the agenda. And yeah, I can probably just make a column and put give people scores or something. Sure.
Yeah, whatever suits you perfectly, and then we can sort of assign these things. Tam, any feedback on this, or will you try another approach? Just wondering.
To what?
To targeting this list from TEC data space and for reaching out projects, this one Hive projects.
I'm not so involved in the project side, and I'm probably gonna stay a little aside because I have my hands really full with the Hatch stuff, and I feel like if I don't stay focused on it, I won't do well.
Correct. Alrighty. I think we have covered most of the things on the agenda.
Edu, I want to add one thing. Maybe I don't know if it's needed, but if there is any administrative needs on the SWAT team, I could help. I don't like to reach out to projects, but if there is like creating documents and organizing them, yeah, I could definitely help there.
Thank you so much. That will be quite helpful because I do not like spreadsheets. So that will be helpful. All right. Is there anything else that anyone believes that should be talked? Because I think we have covered most of the points of the agenda. It's basically now work that needs to be done by the teams. Yes, Griff.
I have two things. For monstrosity, maybe the easiest thing would be to, if you basically, sorry, Verde, you're there, right? Maybe by proposing the TEC, we also have a lot of OneHive token holders, honey holders, and we could probably pass a proposal through OneHive to fund it as a partnership thing in the T. So that's one direction.
Yeah, I think the fun was to get the common, to get TEC involved. I think the common stack would be a good way to go if you think that's doable.
Okay, so OneHive funding is OneHive has a lot more money than Common Stack does, right? But
right.
So yeah. Okay, that's cool. That was just one thought.
No, that's fine. That's fine. I thought we were trying to like draw projects to us though.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean, because Agave can pay for it.
Yeah. Okay. Agave has a DAO for funding things.
Yeah. Yep. Agave's got a DAO.
A conviction voting DAO.
I think so. I haven't got too deep into it. Yeah. I mean, like they vote on proposals for money for things. Yeah.
Okay. Cool. And then the other thing is there's a important project, and maybe I'll put it in the project's SWAT team chat. But we gotta reach out to Jerome and get him to propose his like token engineering course syllabus and stuff like that. I don't know if anyone wants to take the lead on that.
I can take the lead. If you send me his contact, and then I can really reach out and follow up with him. When was this call that you had with him?
Friday.
Okay, so it's quite recent. Yeah, I mean, I can. So he doesn't. We don't space out too much time in between the reach out and the meeting.
Cool. Okay, great. That's it.
Does anyone else has any other or proposal or question or suggestion for the Hatch Outreach and this session? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Alrighty. So we will leave the rest of the sync for the TEC curate list and assign this to Tamara sessions, individuals, and that's it. That will be all for today. Thank you so much for coming, and I hope to see you soon, everyone.
Thanks, Edu.
Thanks, everyone.